Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Cloud Mining with Genesis Mining, episode 7. We're on like day 58 already. Let's see what's going on. All right, so let's get right to the good stuff. And let's take a look at what's going on with coins. And as you can see, Bitcoin, of course, 5,700. It actually made it to 6,200, dropped a little bit, came back. That's a good thing that it's coming back, strong and not continuing that downward trend. But more importantly, since we're talking about the Genesis mining plan, let's take a look at Ethereum, which I'm not too thrilled with. So when we started this, I believe Ethereum was around 340. And so when we did the calculations, it looked like it was going to be very profitable and that it would be a positive thing to try. Unfortunately, from around that time until just recently, Ethereum was floundering in low numbers. Here they were a little bit more stable in the 290s, and then they finally jumped up when Bitcoin took a big surge, and they made it to 340s, which is great, and that actually made the mining plans look better. But unfortunately, it came back down, and here we are today at 297. So not a great number for Ethereum. I still think it's going to be a good coin in the long run, has a lot of different capabilities, and I think it's going to be strong, but for right now it doesn't help our mining plan. So let's go jump onto the site. Now we can get some updated numbers if they've actually posted them. And before I actually look at the numbers, let me just iterate a couple of things. Number one, I'm a little pissed off at Genesis Mining. They're still taking 30 plus days to respond to email/tickets. And I've had a problem where they just haven't fixed it yet. So it's kind of frustrating. And that problem is that payouts have been skipped. Payouts don't show up, for 3 or 4 days. And just, all in all, I couldn't take my money out even if I wanted to. Now, I know that it'll happen and it'll get fixed. But it's just frustrating that those types of things even happen, especially for such a proven platform and one that should be working without these types of issues. In the meantime, I don't think it really should be held as a big negative towards Genesis. I just think that, maybe because I paid with a credit card or whatever was part of the process, I fell into that, bad piece of code that kind of screwed up my account. And just to share, I look under my orders. Here's those first days that were pending because, of course, we paid with a credit card. And so none of that money has been released. It doesn't reflect it here in my Ethereum balance. And then as far as payouts are concerned, the payouts are just kind of stuck here. They really haven't gone anywhere. I'm not sure what the total of them is since really the payouts haven't been that great. This is a small account. Didn't really put a lot of money into it. So, the payout may also be holding out, at least for these amounts, until it reaches a minimum. But, bottom line is the account's not working perfectly. And the second that they offer some Bitcoin mining, I guarantee you I'm going to buy some on Genesis, which has the best plan for Bitcoin mining. Now, we're going to look at these numbers. We're going to plug them into the spreadsheet. But just make sure you understand that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're giving you the payouts they're supposed to be giving as far as the numbers here are concerned. They're providing you the service of mining Ethereum. And unfortunately, Ethereum is not a good thing to mine cloud-based because you're paying a little bit of a premium for that service. And unfortunately, you're not exceeding the amount of the cost. So that means you're losing a little bit or maybe breaking even. Now, there's still plenty of time. You've got 2 years on a plan from Genesis, and you've got 2 years to make that number up. And if Ethereum suddenly goes to 400, then these numbers are going to flip around real quick. So let's take a look here. We've got the 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. And let's go look here, Cloud Ethereum. And our last recorded was the 23rd, so let's go grab that number from the 24th. Now, it's the 26th today. Just turned to 26. I guess it's just after midnight. So I don't want to complain too much, but, we're behind a couple days here. And the other part I mentioned is that a couple days get skipped And you can see here as an example, 16 to 14, what happened to the 15th? And down here, there's one or two other days that were the same thing. Here's the 3rd is missing, and so on. So, that's the problem that I'm seeing with the account right now. Hopefully, once they open up that ticket and get those things corrected, then everything will fall back in line. Let's just grab this number here from the 24th that we don't have yet. Plug it into our spreadsheet. And we're not breaking any records here. We're not, again, these were small numbers. Remember, we invested only $60 just to try it out. We wanted to ride, the plan and see how it did and figure out if it was going to be profitable. And if we look at the payment dates, you can see at the beginning of the plan, our payouts were our highest 3 at the beginning of the month, and the numbers started going down. And then here, you can see the numbers have been a little skeptical as far as the up and down part of it. And, here we had a day that for some reason just jumped up out of nowhere, but the rest of these payouts are pretty ugly. And even though when Ethereum forked their numbers so that they would reduce the difficulty, and they also reduced the payout from 5 coins to 3 coins, they also, in reducing the difficulty, made it so that you were having an increase in payment for mining. But these numbers, they're not really reflecting that. So I'm not sure if that's something in the Genesis formula or why that is in the case of cloud mining. I know we're doing some desktop mining, and we got our rig up to about 4 video cards now. That's a video you might want to check out. That one is doing pretty well, and we're seeing the numbers the way we expect them. Here, I think we're falling a little under the expected performance. Now, of course, we're talking small dollars, but this is all about percentages. If you put this times 100, then the number would be much bigger. Of course, your investment was bigger, your risk was bigger. So let's take a quick look at the numbers here. And as you can see, the calculated income is 25%. When we started this, it looked like it was going to be around 105%, maybe a little bit more. And during certain days when Ethereum jumped up into 340s, this payback date was really starting to jump up. And in this case, it looks like it's going to take us to the 20th month to break even, which doesn't give us a lot of months here at the bottom to actually get the reward and win on the profit side. And that's basically $16, at the end of the day. So was it worth just paying $60 and doing all this work and going to the website and dealing with the problems? Right this moment, I'm going to say no. But if the coin goes up in value, then of course I'm going to say yes, because we'll have more Ethereum. And it's really about when you sell the coin. So if you got this coin and you figure out your cost was $63.20 and you held on to it for 3 years, and the value of the coin in 3 years was 10 times greater, then wow, this number's going to be great. But we'd like it to be based on a relatively small window of, let's say, 1 to 3 years. That way we can feel closer to us making a profit. If you did this for investment purposes and you wanted to mine just to check it out, this works. If you did it to get a return because you need to pay the bills next month and we're hoping this was going to be an income, this didn't work. So right now I would say Ethereum's not a good coin to mine cloud-based, and it's a tough coin to mine desktop-based. If you want to check out a little bit more, check out our video series on the mining rig and desktop mining, and you can see some different statistics on that, because that's what we are mining on our mining rig. But having said that, I think that's a wrap. I think that Genesis is doing what they're supposed to do. The coin we picked at the time we picked it showed like it was going to be really strong, but unfortunately, the reality of what happens in any currency, no, I shouldn't say currency, any cryptocurrency, is the volatility will affect the numbers. And here, that's what happened to us. So I think Genesis has been, doing what they were expected to do. I think, the coin isn't doing what we expected it to do, but hopefully we'll bounce back, it'll get stronger, and it'll come up. If you like this video, click like. If you'd like to see this and other videos and get notified, please click that subscribe button. Share the video with your friends who are maybe thinking about investing in Genesis. And if you're going to go ahead and try some cloud mining with Genesis, or you're going to upgrade your plan at Genesis, then use the link down below. There's a discount code which gives you 3% and helps us too at the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. We'll catch you next time.